Every great salesperson, business person, and network marketer has a process that they follow. In this video, I'll walk you through the process that has helped Jason and I recruit hundreds of distributors and hundreds of customers over the years. It's also the process that the system is built on and that you'll be using on a daily basis with your contacts. So I'll walk you through the 4 steps so you get the concept. Then I'll jump over to the system and show you how it's built in the system and how you'll go about using it. Step number 1 is to determine the media type on how you'll connect with the person. This could be a face-to-face conversation, phone call, email, social media, text message, or other. Now the system will record what you did to communicate with the person. This is important for 2 reasons. One is you'll be able to see patterns on what's working or what's not working if you're doing one media type over another. The second reason is that we believe it's very important to incorporate a mixture of media types when you're trying to connect with different people out there, especially leads off of a website. So doing a combination of phone calls, emails, social media, and text message usually gets the best response. So the system will record it so you know what you did in your previous connects or your previous connect attempts. Step 2 is to determine where you are in the communication process. And we put this in the system so you're updating the system and it knows where to categorize the person. But more importantly, as you're getting your skills honed in on prospecting and learning how to recruit people, we have found it very important for the distributor to take a second or two and determine, okay, this person is in this step of the communication process. And this helps you get in the right mindset as to what you need to do with the person and where you are in the overall marketing funnel. Because we've seen a lot of people jump the gun or do something incorrectly, and that can be avoided if you spend that fraction of a second determining, okay, I did this with this person, now they're at this point in the process. And after you do this for a while, it'll become second nature and you'll automatically start doing this without even having to think about it. And when you start doing that, that's a sign that you're becoming a true prospector in network marketing. Step 3 is to determine the next engagement. And this is, when are you going to talk with the person again or attempt to talk with the person again? And so you always do this. This is a big mistake a lot of people make, is that they don't get a specific follow-up date or a specific plan for when they're going to reach out or connect with the person again. So the system has 2 things built into it to set the next engagement. One is to set a reminder for a particular day in the future. So if you need to call someone back because you left them a voicemail or you couldn't get a hold of them, you're not going to have a specific time to call them back on in 3 days or 6 days. Now, if you talk with someone and you introduced information to them or giving them specific information, that's when you want to schedule an appointment, which is nailing down a specific time on a specific day. And step 4 is add notes. Record what you talked about in the conversation. Now, you don't need to write an entire book or journal on what you talked about, but depending on the person, if it's a new contact off the website, you may need to put a few sentences in there about their background, their job, their goals, what they're looking to do. And you also want to record what information you shared with them, what information you're sending to them, what questions they asked, objections, and so on. And don't do this trap, oh, I'll remember when I talk to the person the next time. Yeah, you'll remember for about the first 10 or 15 people you talk with, but once you start getting a lot of people in your pipeline or in your funnel, you will forget, and that will cost you new people in your downline and new customers. So be methodical and be professional and add notes every single time you engage someone. So now I'm logged into the system, and I'm going to show you how this 4-step process works in the actual contact management system. So I'm on the contacts page, and I've got a couple test contacts or test leads underneath the connect step. And so as new leads or new people get put in the system, they're going to appear in the connect category, because that means you need to connect with them as you haven't talked with them yet. So I'm going to click view next to Chris 1 to pull up his contact record. Now there's quite a few things going on this page here. I'm only going to focus on part of it, as later videos will go into more details and build upon this. But right at the very top, you're going to notice a breadcrumb or a progress bar. And you'll see it says media type, communication processed, next engagement, or add note. And these are the exact 4 steps I just walked you through. So you'll notice as you move through the process, whatever step you're on is bolded at the top. That's just to kind of give you a refresher as to what you need to do at that particular moment with the contact. So if you're on the phone with a person or working with a person, you can glance there and it should remind you what step you're in the process. So with this test contact, let's say I gave him a phone call, and then the system gives me different options as to what happened. Are we having a conversation, or did we have a conversation? Did I leave a message, no answer, wrong number, or did he call me back and leave me a voicemail? So we'll just say we had a conversation. Then it moves me to the next step, step number 2. Are you in the develop or introduce? Now I won't show you the follow-up and the close yet, because it's impossible to be in the follow-up or close if this is your very first conversation with the person. So I'll click develop, and now the system's in step 3 of the process. When am I going to engage the person again? So I can either set a reminder or schedule an appointment. So I'll say schedule appointment, and we're going to talk Friday at 9 a.m. So I'll put that in here on the built-in calendar. And then it takes me to the 4th step, which is add a note. So I'll type, I would normally type a summary here of what we talked about, so that when I come back, I can review it, it'll be fresh in my mind, and I know what I'm going to talk to the person about. So I'll click update, and that just finished that engagement process with me for that contact or that person. Now, if you look at the connect subcategory again, you'll notice there's only 1 person there rather than 2 people. So that Chris-1 test contact I put in there is no longer on the page. It's not because he got removed from the system. It's because the system is built on the simple philosophy of showing you who you need to call this day. So it'll bring up new people, people you didn't engage from the previous day, scheduled appointments, and people in the follow-up process. That way you can come here, and anyone you see on this page, you know you need to engage that day. So I'm going to click Chris 2. I'm going to click view next to Chris 2 to go to his contact record again. And let's say I just sent a text message, sent the message, we're going to develop. I'm going to set a reminder because we actually didn't talk, so I don't need to set a specific time. But if I don't hear back from him, I want to reach out to him again in 3 days. I'll type in my notes here for what we talked about, or what I texted him, I should say. And I'll click update contact. Now you'll see again that contact disappeared from the connect step, and now that category along with the rest of the page is empty. And a future video will go into more details about how to use the page in its entirety and how the clearing process works and how you work it into your daily prospecting routine. But in this video, I just wanted to show you the step-by-step process you do as you engage your individual contacts.